I went to University of Florida. Anyone here from UF? No? Alright. Burn the Quran guy, Terry Jones, the first guy to burn the Quran, or that made that whole public thing. You guys know what I'm talking about? SubhanAllah, I had to give a lecture there, Gainesville, and literally he and his people were waiting in the parking lot for me to get out of my car and to shout me down with all of these nasty things about the Prophet ﷺ, all the way from my car to the lecture. It was disgusting. But there was more than that. There were some non-Muslims that were just sincere. They wanted to hear our perspective. And subhanAllah, there was one sister that came after. She was non-Muslim. And she said, look, everything you said makes sense. She said, in fact, the theology of Islam makes sense. I get the theology. I actually agree. It's common sense. Yes, one God. That's what was preached from Adam all the way to Jesus. She said, but the marriage to Aisha. She said, I can't get around that. I said to her, okay, have you ever read anything about Aisha radiallahu anha? She said no, except for all the debates about how young she was, which, by the way, was not an issue that was brought up until now. Which shows you how insignificant her age was. Whatever that age would have been, how insignificant it was to the discussion, that the only possible narration we have about her age is actually from her. So no one else made any issue of it, because whatever her age was, it was the norm of the time. But now, huge deal. So she said, I can't. I said, have you read anything about Aisha radiallahu anha? Her personality, her marriage to the Prophet ﷺ, her psychology? This woman, because the impression that's created right away is that this was this young, exploited girl, just like the thing we see on the news with all those crazy Muslims overseas and child marriages, that was put into a house by this old man and subjected to abuse and had this destroyed psychology. I mean, it's a horrible image, right? I said, have you read about Aisha? The scholar, the muhadditha, the woman that was so proud in her leadership and had such self-esteem that she was more eloquent than any of the male companions of the Prophet ﷺ. The woman who was more knowledgeable in jurisprudence and inheritance and anything that any of the other Sahaba were. This woman that loved the Prophet ﷺ and spoke of him so glowingly, far from an abusive monster that he's being portrayed as, alayhi salatu wasalam, but instead this loving husband that treated her and respected her with so much respect that he listened to her when she was angry and they had arguments. Have you read about her as a person? She said no. I said, okay, so here's what we're going to do. Before I have any discussion with you about her age, I'm going to send you a bunch of material to read on Aisha. And I want you to just forget about anything that the Islamophobes have put in your head about this and this and that. So she did so. SubhanAllah, she was so amazed by it and so blown away by it that suddenly that discussion was not important anymore. And she took Shahada, and she had a daughter, and she named her daughter Aisha.